Hi, this is Mr. Tipton, and today we are looking at solving multi-step equations. We just finished solving two-step equations, and now we're going to bump it up, and well, we're going to have more steps than two in these equations. Starting out nice and easy, here is an equation where we're going to have to use the distributive property before we can solve it. Alright, we know how to do the distributive property. 2 times g gives us 2g. And 2 times -7 gives us -14. If it still helps you to draw the arrows so you remember what you're doing, great. Remember to always look at the sign on your left. This is a -7, so we get -14. Equals 16. Now it's a two-step equation, still using our same steps. Variables on the left, we're multiplying by 2, and we've got a -14. We're going to save the term with the variable for last. So first we're going to undo the -14 with a +14. And what you do to one side, you must do to the other side. So we get 2g is equal to 30. And we're multiplying by 2, so we divide by 2. We end up with g is equal to 15. Piece of cake. Let's try another. This next equation, we have got to combine our like terms. Simplify each side of an equation before you do anything to both sides. There's a 3f on the left side and a 5f on the right side, but as you can see on the left, we also have this 6 and this 9. We need to simplify this left side before we start undoing and what you do to one side, do to the other side. Don't do that yet. Simplify each side first. Okay, we have a 6 and a 9, which is going to give us 3f plus 15 on the left side. Okay, I'm not undoing, I'm not subtracting 6 and canceling out the 6. I'm not doing 9 minus 6 is 3. Don't do that. Simplify each side before you do anything to both sides. The right side, there was nothing to simplify, so we're good. Now that we've simplified, we can go ahead and solve the problem. If you notice, I've got 3f on the left and I've got 5f on the right. I'm actually going to talk about this on the next slide as well, but we need to we want to get our variables together first. And it does not matter if we get them together on the left or the right side. But the first thing I want to do is get all my f's together. So I'm going to take them away from here. I've got a positive 3f, so I'm going to subtract 3f. And if I subtract 3f on the left, I have to subtract 3f on the right. So what does that give us? We've got 15 is equal to 13. 5f minus 3f is 2f. And then now we're back to a two-step equation. Subtract 13 from both sides. 2 is equal to -2f. And I'm getting down here to the bottom of my screen. That's okay. Oops. I'm multiplying by -2, so I must divide by -2. And that leaves me with f is equal to -1 is our answer. Okay, so when you have things to simplify, make sure you simplify each side before you do anything to both sides. Here's another example where there are variables on both sides of the equal sign. We want to get our variables together first, and no, it does not matter if you get them together on the left or the right side. So subtract 3g. What you do to one side, you must do to the other side. On the left, we now have a -12 because we're paying attention to the sign on the left. 9g minus 3g is 6g. Divide both sides by 6. -2 equals g. Alright. Let's do another one where there's variables on both sides. We've got 7c minus 7 on the left and 4c plus 17 on the right. Let's go ahead. I'm going to subtract 4c to get my c's together, which means on the left I have 3c minus 7 is equal to 17. And I am just doing these one step at a time. So now I'm going to add 7. Both sides gives me 3c is equal to 24. Divide both sides by 3, and our solution is c is equal to 8. Alright, last one of these. We've got a little bit of everything in this one. Distributive property, variables on both sides, and there's going to be some stuff to simplify as well. Alright, so here we go. 3 times 4k, that's going to give us 12k. And 3 times 14 is 42. On the right, we have 10k. Then we have negative 2 times k, which is negative 2k. And we also have negative 2 times negative 7. Negative times negative is positive 14. Again, here on the right side, there is some simplifying that we can do before we start undoing. We've got a 10k and a negative 2k. So let's get the left side ready to go here. 12k plus 42. 10k minus 2k is 8k plus 14. Alright, so now each side is simplified. We are ready to do things to both sides. We're going to get our variables together first. And I kind of like mine to be positive, so I'm going to send them over here to the left side. 12k minus 8k is 4k. Plus 42 is equal to 14. Subtract 42 from both sides because we're saving the term with the variable for last. 4k is equal to negative 28. Divide both sides by 4. And k is equal, to negative 7. It takes a lot of paper to stay organized and to do a problem like this, but that's okay. It's okay. Show your work one step at a time, no silly mistakes. If you have questions about any of these problems, write them down and we'll talk about them tomorrow. See you soon.